everyone, and welcome back. My name is Shaunneka, and I'm so glad that you decided to join me again today for yet another yoga practice. So today's class is going to be a yoga flow for beginners. It is going to be very gentle, and I will probably be doing a lot more talking than normal just to make sure that you are, feeling what you should be feeling in a pose and really aligning properly so that you are less prone to injury and you know exactly how you should be feeling in each posture. Before we get started, always remembering to hit that like and subscribe button and leaving a comment at the end of this class so that I know how it went for you. So we'll go ahead and get started in a laying down position. So coming to lay all the way down onto your back. We'll start off with an easy twist. Go ahead from here, pick your hips up and swing them to the right and set your hips back down. Draw your knees in halfway and bring your arms out to a T beside you, dropping both knees to the left and gazing over the right shoulder. Bringing your gaze back towards the ceiling, drawing your knees back in and up. From here, keeping the right knee bent, you're just simply going to extend that right leg straight down onto the mat. Interlace your hands around your knee. Inhaling here. And on every exhale, you're looking to draw the knee in closer towards the chest. So inhale, the knee moves away. And exhale to draw in. It's really warming up the hips here just a little bit before we begin our practice. Gently opening the eyes if they were closed, and bend that left knee, bring the left foot to the ground, to the mat, and cross your right ankle over your left kneecap. So you can stay here and actively push your right knee away from you, or you can take your right hand and just press it on your right thigh and push away that way. Still feeling a nice stretch in the outer hip. If you're looking for a little bit more, then pick up that left foot and weave your hands through the hole that you've created, grabbing hold of the back of the left hamstring. Or if the flexibility permits, the top of the shin. And again, really looking to move that right knee away from you. So draw it away. Let's go ahead and gently release the grip, bringing the left foot back to the mat, uncrossing the right ankle from the left kneecap. And just windshield wiper here. And we'll go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side. Planting the feet into the mat, pick the hips up, swing them to the left this time, draw the knees halfway in and drop them down to the right, gazing over the left arm. Bringing your gaze back to center, bringing your knees back in. This time, you're keeping the left knee bent and extending that right leg straight down onto the mat. Interlacing your hands around that left kneecap, inhaling here. And every exhale, you're drawing the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, the knee moves away. And exhale to draw in. Last one here. And let's go ahead now and bend the right knee, bring the right foot to the floor and cross your left ankle over your right kneecap. Again, the option is there for you to stay here and just simply push away with your left hand on your left thigh. Or if you're looking for a little bit more, pick up that right foot, your hands through the hole, grab a hold of the back of the right thigh or on top of the right shin. Gently opening the eyes, release the grip, bring the sole of the right foot back to the mat, and uncross the ankle. So from here, we will work into just a little bit of core before we come up. So go ahead and bend the shins, bend the knees, so your shins are parallel to the ceiling. So you want to make sure that there's no gap in your low back, or like you cannot stick your hand underneath your back. So you should be able to squish. So the action is you're tucking your tailbone under and you're squishing. You want to imagine, for instance, there's like a strawberry or a blueberry underneath your low back and you're trying to squish it. And you want to keep that action throughout the duration of this pose. You can bring your hands by your side. Inhale. Exhale. You're going to tap your toes as far away from your bum as you can without lifting up off of the mat. So inhale. Exhale, tap the toes down. And inhale, back up. Exhale, tap. And back up. Inhale here. And exhale, tap. Inhale, back up. And exhale to tap, remembering to squish that strawberry. Inhale, back up. Exhale, tap. 2 more. We'll do 1 more here. And inhale, draw your knees in and give yourself a hug. Rock from side to side. So from here, grab a hold of the back of the knees and just rock and roll the length of your mat just a few times. We'll do 1 more like this. And find yourself in a seated position. We'll go ahead and find ourselves in an easy cross-legged position. So take your left shin and cross it in front of the right. You then want to shimmy your feet closer to the top of your mat or away from you and then slightly apart. So it should feel like you are in an awkward sitting position. Inhale to find length, reach up through the chest, and exhale to fold forward. You should be feeling a nice stretch in the outer left hip. Let's walk all 10 fingertips to the left. Really reaching through those right fingertips to feel a nice stretch through the right side body. And let's walk all 10 fingertips to the left. Same thing, reaching through those left fingertips. Come back through center and walk yourself all the way back up, and we will just simply switch the crossing of the shins. So the opposite shin, right shin comes in front of the left shin. Shimmy your feet closer to the top or away from you, and then a little bit wider. So it should feel like an awkward sitting position. Inhale, arms up, and exhale to fold forward. This time taking the stretch into the outer right hip. Walking all 10 fingertips to the left, reaching out through your right fingertips. And to the right, reaching out through the left fingertips. Go ahead and come back through center and walk yourself all the way back up. So go ahead now and just find a cross-legged position that feels comfortable for you, however you would naturally sit cross-legged on the floor. You're going to take your hands onto your knees, and we're just going to make some circles. So you're going to inhale and puff up through the chest, and exhale, you're going to come down the left knee, around through center, up the right knee, and then hollow through the spine. So you're trying to bring your navel to touch your spine. So back, left knee, center, right knee, and back. So try not to force the movement, just moving nice and intuitively in one direction. And we'll go ahead and switch directions. One more just like this on the side. And finding a nice tall spine, doing the same thing with the neck. So dropping the ear to the left shoulder, bring the chin to the chest, right ear, right shoulder, and drop the head back in one direction. And in the other direction. Coming back through center, lift the gaze here, make fists with your hands, squeeze your fists, And inhale, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale, let it go. One more, squeeze the fists. Reach the shoulders up towards the ears. Inhale. And exhale, release. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and rock forward, finding yourself in your tabletop position. Make sure your knees are in line with your hips and your shoulders are in line with your wrists. And you are pushing down through the index finger and your thumb. So you always want to imagine that you're like squeezing a block through your upper arms, just to keep everything nice and taut. Find a neutral tabletop. And a neutral tabletop means that you're neither sagging your belly nor rounding through your spine. So you're just finding a nice balance between those two extremes. So nice neutral tabletop position here. Inhale, belly drops, chin lifts. When the belly drops, shoulders draw down your back. Inhale. And exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. Really spread those shoulder blades wide. Inhale. And exhale. Two more like this. Inhale. And exhale. So go ahead and find that neutral tabletop position once again. You're going to bear your weight into your left hand. And I find that it helps if I tuck my toes under for this one. So with your weight bearing in your left hand, you're going to extend your left leg and your right arm. So inhale here. Everything is nice and strong. So really point through your left toes and reach through your right fingertips. Make sure you're not sagging in the belly. For 3. 2. And 1. Bring that right hand down and the left knee. Same thing on the other side. So bear the weight in the right hand. Extend that right leg, left arm. Shoulders away from the ears. Drawing the navel in for 3. 2. And 1. Bring the left hand down and bring the right knee to meet it. Shimmy it out. So we're going to find that same position again. We're just going to add on. So extend your left leg and your right arm. Inhale here. Exhale. Elbow tries to touch your left knee. Inhale to reach. Exhale to tap. Inhale to reach. Exhale to tap. One more. Inhale to reach. And exhale to tap. Inhale, everything stretches nice and long. And exhale, right hand comes to the mat. Left knee comes to the mat. Shimmy it out. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So adding on. So this time extending that right leg, left arm. Find length. Inhale. Exhale. Tap. Inhale to reach. Exhale to tap. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach everything nice and long. Bring your left hand down and right knee to the mat. Shimmy it out. From here, bring your knees wide, big toes to touch, and send your hips back for a child's pose. Nice deep breaths. Lift the gaze, push back into your palms, find yourself back in your tabletop position. So from your tabletop position, we'll be making our way into downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, you want to remember that you're not dumping the weight in your wrists. Your wrists should feel nice and light. So when you're in downward dog, it should feel like your palm is a suction cup and you're pressing through the knuckles of all of your fingers. Right? So if you do that and you push forward, it makes the wrists a little bit lighter and it prevents injury and keeps the weight off of that joint. So with your toes tucked under, pick your hips up and you're just going to hold it here. So in this position, notice if you're sticking out your bum and dropping the belly, you're really looking to suck the belly in and spread those shoulder blades wide. 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees to the mat and just shimmy it out. So you want to keep that action in the arms. So let's go ahead and make our way into downward facing dog from here. So tucking your toes under, hover your knees, push into your knuckles and your fingers. So your fingers are nice and strong. They should be turning white at this point. Draw your belly towards your thighs and stretch your legs and your bum towards the ceiling. Make sure you're not flaring the rib cage. Draw the rib cage in. And then just walk your feet back and find a comfortable downward facing dog. So if you want to make sure you're in a proper downward facing dog, if you come high onto your tippy toes and roll forward to your plank, your shoulders should stack right on top of your wrists, right? So if you do that and you're here, then you know that your downward dog is too short. Same way as if you do it like this and your shoulders don't stack, your downward dog is too long. So just play with that. Find your downward dog. Pedaling it out left and right. Navel draws in, rib cage is in as well. Walk your feet so that your big toes are touching and inhale your right leg to lift. Bend your knee and open up your hip. So you're trying to open up your knee towards the ceiling. For 3. Push those palms towards the top of the mat. 2. And 1. So from here, you're going to bring your right knee in towards your chest. Trying to bring your right knee behind your right tricep for 3. 2. And 1. Step back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Let's do the other side, big toes to touch. Inhale, the left leg lifts, bend the knee, open up the hip. Really reach that left knee towards the ceiling and push your palms towards the top of the mat. 3, 2, and 1. Draw that left knee in towards your chest, right up behind that left tricep and squeeze. For 3, 2, and 1. Step it back, left foot meets the right, downward facing dog. Go ahead, drop to your knees and sit back onto your heels. Close your eyes. Interlace your hands behind your low back. Reach your knuckles towards your toes and lift up through the chest. Really reach. Open up that chest. 3, 2, and 1. Gently release. Bring the hands onto the knees. Round through the back. And find yourself back in tabletop position. In your tabletop position, tuck your toes under, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to lift, and bend the right knee right in towards your chest, and then step it in between your palms. So bring your left knee to the mat, and inhale both arms up. Low lunge. So here, you want to think about drawing your right heel towards your left kneecap. So it's an isometric move, or it's kind of like it's basically you're activating your mula bandha, right? It's that internal lock. 3, nice active fingertips. 2, and 1. With your toes tucked under, lift that left knee up off of the mat. Bend generously through that right knee. From here, you're going to turn and spin your left foot at a 90 degrees. So your left heel is lined up with your right heel, and open your arms up, warrior 2. So making sure you're not sticking out your caboose. Draw that hip back, pushing out through the pinky toe edge of your left foot, gazing over your middle finger. For 3. Nice deep breaths. 2. 1 more breath here. Let's treat ourselves. Take your left hand down your left leg and inhale your right arm up for exalted warrior. Coming all the way back up through warrior, spin your hands down on either side of that right foot and step back. Inhale here. Exhale, lower chaturanga. When you lower, you want your elbows to graze your rib cage. Upward facing dog. Open up through the collarbone. Downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend the knee and step the foot through in between the palms. Right away, right knee comes to the floor. Inhale, arms up. Draw that left heel towards your right kneecap. Nice active fingertips. With your right toes tucked under, go ahead and pick up your right knee. Keeping that generous bend through that left knee. Let's go ahead and open up to our warrior 2. So your right foot spins at a 90. So your right heel is in line with your left heel. Bend generously through that left knee, pushing out through the pinky edge of your right foot. For 3. Nice deep breaths. So really think of squeezing in, like you're trying to fold your mat into. 2. And 1. Bring that right hand down the back of the right leg and inhale, arms up, exalted warrior. And exhale, back through warrior, spin your hands down, step back, plank, inhale, exhale, lower, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. So pedaling it out here, left and right. From here, you're going to walk your hands back to meet your feet. Once there, generously bend the knees so your belly drapes over your thighs. You're going to take your peace fingers and wrap it around your big toe. So I'll just face this way. So I'm taking my peace fingers and I'm wrapping them around my big toes. I'm pushing down on my fingers with my toes, and I'm pulling up with my fingers at the same time. Inhale to a flat back, and exhale to fold. Elbows come out wide, and the head drops. Nod your head yes and no. Gently release. Taking your whole hand this time, you're going to take your hand and you're going to bring it underneath your foot. So your fingertips are reaching towards your heel and your toes are kind of massaging the crease of your wrist. Same action. Inhale to a flat back and exhale, fold. Gently release the hands from underneath the feet and inhale to a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, walk your hands back up to the top of the mat, finding yourself back in your downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Let's go ahead and inhale, round forward to plank. Exhale, lower, chaturanga, all the way to your belly. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and down your back. Press your toenails into the floor. Hover the palms for 3. Squeeze the elbows together. 2. And 1. Reach your hands. Keep that lift. Reach your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Bend your elbows. Squeeze your palms together. Reach your knuckles towards the back of your heels. For 3. 2. If you like, you can lift up the feet. Really reach. 1 more breath here. And exhale. Gently release. Can stack palm on palm. And just let the forehead rest. From here, we're just going to roll onto our backs. We will take bridge, so bend your knees and see if you can graze your heels with your fingertips. Once you can do so, you can walk your feet away just slightly. Shimmy your shoulder blades underneath you. Inhale here. Exhale, imagine you're slightly sticking out your bum. Go ahead, push through your feet, lift your low back, mid back, and upper back up off of the mat. So the weight should be in your shoulders, like in your shoulder girdle, and not your head or your skull. So really push into your feet Make sure your knees are not splaying wide. Holding it here for 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower top of the back, mid back, low back. Bring your feet as wide as your mat and just allow your knees to knock in for a moment. So keeping your feet where they are, just drop your knees to the left. Coming back through center, keeping your feet as wide as your mat again, and just drop both knees to the left. Coming back through center. Go ahead, draw both of your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. You can wrap your arms around your knees or grab onto your heels. Squeezing here for 3, for 2. Let's take a nice big inhale. And exhale, release. Extend your legs out wide. Arms out wide for your Shavasana. Just making any final adjustments so that you can fully surrender here without fidgeting and moving. Just being an observer now. All the tiny movements happening throughout the body. And of course, showing yourself some gratitude. Maybe this was your first time doing yoga. Maybe you've been away from yoga for a while and you're back now. And if you are new to yoga, Just know that it's not about what you can do, but it's more about what you can feel. And how do you feel? So feeling free to stay here for as long as you like. I hope today's practice gave you that encouragement you needed to continue, or the insights that you needed. I look forward to practicing with you again, and have a wonderful rest of your day.